Hey Gearfacts friends, another multi-effect system. It's the Digitech RP200 Artist series. Well, the person who designed this obviously wasn't an artist. It's a pretty ugly looking unit, and that might be part of the reason for its limited success. But the person who designed this was a pragmatist. This is extremely ergonomic. Nice big fat foot plate here. The pedals are very soft, just the right amount of pressure. You can play them in bare feet or shoes, and the dials are flared, which makes them really easy to control, even though they're quite recessed. Let's have a listen. One thing I've always liked about Digitech pedals is how good the noise cut is. Just have a listen to this. See how quickly that noise is suppressed. And it goes absolutely dead silent. Let's try another one. Okay, we've got some sort of whammy bar thing going on here. Okay, something a little bit cleaner. Okay, so a very basic sound there. Let's go into some editing. Oh, sorry, press the wrong button there. You press the select button and that'll take you straight into editing. You can see the LED traveling down our list of effects and then back up to the top. So you just go through and make the changes that you want to change using these three dials right here. So first of all, I want to change the amp model there. Maybe to something that's crunchy but not fully distorted. Okay, a bit too much gain in that one. And I want to turn the level up. Okay, so to me that sounds a little bit better than the preset, which was called Tweedy, obviously alluding to the Tweed amp there. What I've done is change it to the Boutique amp. Now we've got a bit more crunch, a bit more bite to the sound. And let's move down to the next one, which is conveniently equalizer. I like to have a lot of middle in my sound and quite a lot of treble. Okay, let's move down to the next one. We've got cabinet choices here too. These are going to have a huge effect on your sound. That warm one really is warm. Oh, warm number 4 it's called. And the British one certainly does sound British. Again, we've got a few choices. And then dark. Let's try dark 3. Okay, so dark is very bassy. And cabinet off. I think the warm one sounded quite nice. Probably a little more pillowy than I'd like it to be generally, but for the sake of experimenting and demonstrating this unit, it's a good one to choose. Effects refers to modulation effects. At the present we've got nothing, so auto, yeah. Envelope. Along the line of Digitech's synth wah. And what's next? Detuner. Well, that does add a lot of depth to the sound. The detune's very nice. Pitch shifter. And again, we're not assigned to the expression pedal yet, but we can control it using the middle dial here. Right up to 2 octaves above and 1 below. Pretty good. Then we got whammy, which I showed you a moment ago. Again, we're not assigned to the pedal yet. Okay, so modulation effects there. I did miss a few though. We got chorus, of course. flanger. Phaser. It's a nice phaser. It's a little bit fast though. I think that is synced to the tempo setting though in drums. Then we got tremolo. A very nice humming tremolo there, good one. Vibrato. Rotary. And we're back to ya-ya. Okay, let's go back to rotary because I thought that was quite nice too. And this time we're going to add some delay. Right up to 2 seconds worth of delay. About half a second is usually pretty good. And then the amount of feedback. And there are different kinds of delays, 8 kinds of analog delay, ping pong delay, which is your stereo reflection, mono delay, which is just a digital straightforward delay. And then delay off. Let's give ourselves a mono delay. Down to reverb now. Usually I like the cleanness of delay without reverb added, but in this case I think it's filling up the sound quite nicely. And now we get to expression pedal control. Very straightforward programming on this unit because we've got parameter assign and you just turn the dial until the expression pedal is controlling what you want it to control. So we had whammy before and you can select whammy, but of course because we don't have that assigned as one of our modulation effects, it won't actually control anything at all. So what we do have though is reverb level. Since we've just been talking about reverb, we'll see how the expression pedal can fade that in and out really smoothly. I'll just do this with one hand. Okay, so when it's forward you can hear a lot more reverb. Probably not a great effect to use as an example there. Let's change that effect type to whammy. Now go down to expression pedal and control whammy. Oh, there it was. Okay, and this time we'll have an expression effect that's much more obvious. That is pretty much as smooth as the real thing too. I've reviewed a couple of whammy pedal models on Gearfax before and they are beautifully smooth liquidy pedals to use. This of course is a cheap alternative, but I have to say that's 90% as good. So we're not hearing tiny little micro stages in pitch shifting there. It's nice, smooth, one movement. Anyway, so that's a bit of a tutorial, but I'm sure you guys just want to have a listen through some of the presets to see exactly what you're getting. So we'll run through a few of those now. Another example of a quite distorted patch that comes through very clean because of that excellent noise reduction. And here's our wah pedal sound. Sorry about the bad playing there, but I'm doing that with one hand, as you can see. Here's a nice warm overdrive. And a slightly harder one with a bit of doubling. Here's a very moody one. Okay, so the RP200 is certainly a pedal made in the classic Digitech style. They really have changed their design a lot, but over the years the sound has remained much the same with Digitech. I think they're great for quite conservative players who want good quality imitations, for want of a better word, of individual pedal effects. It's very clean, the quality of effects is very tight. Ultimately, it leaves me personally feeling a little bit cold though, because it's not a very creative pedal. I generally prefer things that sort of give me something that I've never heard before, or maybe use the effects in a more creative kind of a way. But that is just me. There are a lot of players there who are playing all the classics, and for that, the RP200 ticks all the boxes, as most of the other Digitech models do. Programming the Digitech RP200 is undeniably smooth though. It's very easy, a very sort of linear and manual-free process, very easy to do. The back is also nice and simple. Input there, jam along, which is just a fancy name for an auxiliary in for an external sound source. Your output for your amp. I was using the headphone socket there to go into a studio monitor speaker. Just a 3.5mm one there, which is the way I prefer it too, because then I'm not scrabbling around for an adapter. And of course we've got our 9 volts, 1300 milliamps in, and this one uses AC power, which is a little unusual. The last thing I'd say, and again it's about design, is this foot pedal here. This is just luxury. It's grippy, it's nice and big, feels great, just the right amount of resistance. It's also not one of those pedals that you put a lot of force on the toe and then it activates wah or anything like that. I don't think that's a good system. I think it gets in the way of control in your playing, and I'm a bad enough guitarist as it is. So if you want to switch from, say, rotary speed control to wah, what you'll need to do is set up 2 patches side by side and click between them using the main switches. That's not an impediment. I think that's a better way of doing it, and I do really like this pedal design, even though it is pretty ugly and dated looking. And that's my wrap up of Digitech's RP200. Here are some links to some other Digitech reviews I've done that might interest you, and maybe 1 or 2 other things. Thanks for liking, commenting or subscribing. Thanks for watching Gear Facts. Look forward to seeing you next time. Digitech RP200, there it is.